welcome to Bitch Guess What?
Episode 4, bitches.
It's your girl Estella
and Sonya.
There you go. And it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
and
feels like it's been a while.
It's been too long, right?
Yeah.
So we are back with all the topics, all the things that you're thinking, but we're saying. So how's your last couple of weeks though?
It was good. I feel like I've had something to do every single weekend in October. Like I've been extremely busy, which is nice. But yeah, I'm kind of tired. You know me. Like I love being home. So I've been so tired lately.
Yeah.
We were actually supposed to record yesterday. I was too tired.
No, well, it's funny because I did my makeup and everything, you guys, like actual makeup. And I hit this bitch up and I'm like, hey, so she's all, well, I'm on my couch and I got sleepy. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's fine. We'll just do it tomorrow. And then I ate and then I sat on my couch and I literally fell asleep.
See, I helped us both.
So I was like, oh, maybe I was tired too. Shit. But that's what I do. Like I think when you're an adult and a busy one at that, you can't fucking sit down anywhere.
Yeah.
Because the second you sit down, like it's lights out for me. You're not getting shit from me. I'm not cleaning nothing. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not having sex. I'm not doing nothing.
Right.
I'm tired.
It's done.
That ship has sailed. Leave me alone. I just want to be lazy and go to sleep. Fall asleep watching something.
Yep.
You know, I can't even read at night because I won't get past 2 pages.
You end up like falling, like drooling on it.
I literally fall asleep. It's so sad. I'm like, what time of day would be a good time for me to read where I'm not going to fall asleep? And I haven't figured it out yet because I'll literally fall asleep if I sit down at any point in the day. So that's a problem.
Sometimes at night, if my mind is really busy and I'm like on my phone and I'm like, okay, let me just put it away because I'm not tired, but I'm not going to sleep because I'm on my phone. Right. I'll purposely like read a book because it makes me tired. It bores me.
Same. I sleep better when I do that before bed too. I'm like, like I get better sleep. So that is when people who say, oh, I can't go to bed at night, this and that and this and that, I'm like, bro, just try reading. Put your fucking phone away. Put the phone away. It's not doing you any good. Blue light, etc., whatnot, and read a book. Even if you only get 2 pages in, you will fall asleep.
It'll make you so tired.
You'll sleep better, and you will have done something for yourself to better yourself, expand your knowledge or your imagination if it's a fiction. So yeah.
All of the above.
Right. I've also been incredibly busy this entire month.
Yeah.
I went to a wedding last weekend and that was fun.
Was it a smashing time?
It was a smashing time. I didn't know anybody. I only went with the person who invited me. And I ended up having a blast. I feel like everybody were huge fans of mine. And I only had like 4 or 5 margaritas, nothing crazy, but they were those little, those little cups you get on the airplane.
Yeah.
They weren't like margaritas, you know what I mean? So,
and they're usually not that strong.
No, there was one where it was like that guy put a shit ton of tequila, but I drank a couple bottles of water. I was good. The food was delicious. I got some blisters on my feet, so that means my shoes looked fabulous.
There you go.
And then I went home and it was great. And then I went to a soccer game the day after, which was fun. I love soccer.
I've never been to a game. I've always wanted to go, but I don't know anything about soccer.
Bitch, I'm taking you.
Yeah, I'll go for sure.
I'm taking you because a lot of people talk shit about soccer. They're like, oh, I can't get into it, or oh, it's so boring. All they're doing is running around. Like, that's how I feel about all sports. Yeah. They're all just fucking running around. But soccer, when you're there, is a different vibe there's literally this section at this stadium because it's different in America than it is in Europe and like other parts of the world. It's a huge deal there. But there's this section, it was the San Diego Loyal, and there's this section that everybody who sits there, they're like banging drums the whole time. They're just fucking loud, making music like the whole fucking time. It's a vibe. Cool. You would have a good time.
Yeah, I'll definitely go next time.
And you're like, I sat really close to the players this time. I was like, damn, a couple players.
Fun.
I was like, I could get it. But yeah, you should definitely go.
Yeah. Well, next time,
your horizons.
I'll go.
Okay, bitch. Shit.
All I need is a fucking invite. Shut.
Let's talk about those for a minute.
Sleepy ass.
Which are not inviting ass. Fuck out of here.
What? I invite you everywhere.
You don't. It's fine.
Everything.
I see it on Instagram. Familia time.
Those are like weird. Spur the moment.
That's weird. Where's my glass? My hand's not waiting for you
at the bar.
I'm not in that boomerang. That's
you
weird.
You have my location, girl. Pull up.
I do. It's funny because we were actually in the same area like Friday night, and I had no idea until I went home because I was checking Abby's location. Mm-hmm. So we share our locations, guys, with each other. Yes. And I also have my kids' locations on our phones, and I was checking Abby's, and I was like, this bitch is right. This bitch is at the pub or Barrel and Stave. I was like, yeah, it was the pub, I think.
It was the pub.
Yeah. And I was at Belchin. So I had like met my coworkers for the first time because I work 100% remote. And so nobody ever sees each other in real life.
Weird.
Yeah.
Such weird times we live in.
It is. It's kind of strange, but I super love it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love it. So I get to like just roll out of bed and log on.
Must be nice.
Great. It's pretty great.
Must be nice to be God's favorite.
You know? You know what I'm saying? It sure is. It's not that rough.
It's not a bad time.
Not a bad time. It's not. So, is there anything you would like to bring to the table?
What have I learned this weekend?
Tell us the deets, the dirt, the cheesemint. Let's go.
It's very funny because I saw like this, I don't know if it's a meme. I guess it's a meme, but I saw a meme a couple days ago, and it was very fitting to some new information that I acquired. But it said something about you can always tell who the narcissist is in a relationship because they're the ones that move on to another relationship, like right away, immediately after one.
Yeah.
And while the other person takes their time to like heal and mourn or whatever they're doing. Yeah.
Do the work that you should always fucking do. Otherwise, any future relationship going forward is gonna just yield the same fucking problems.
Right. And I was like, it's very fitting. Do what you will with that information.
Girl, the same shit happened to me with my ex.
My God.
2 days later, he had a girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I remember.
What the fuck? Like, how did that happen? Because like you've been spending a lot of time trying to convince me that you want to be with me like long term, like forever. We've already been fucking with each other. We've already been together 5 years, bro.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel the enthusiasm. And had I not, like, I literally brought it up to the table, you know, I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to be just here with this person who's like settling for me. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to settle for me. Mm-hmm. I'm a motherfucking choice.
You're a motherfucking catch.
Right? Come on. And so when I brought it to the table and was like, hey, I don't think we should do this anymore. I don't think you're happy. I don't think you're in it. And it makes me not like feel very good knowing that, et cetera. 2 days later, this motherfucker is in a relationship with some bitch from work.
I remember that.
Oh my God.
I was like, there's no way that there wasn't like something going on.
Right? Because he's like, I swear we weren't talking or nothing. I ran into her, I got her number, and then we like hung out. And you know, like, I'm like, bro,
no.
First of all, no.
Not buying it.
Not at all. Not ever, not once. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These motherfuckers, they think we were born yesterday. Like I've done that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you gonna fucking play a player? No, I'm just
right. Kidding. When I know the game.
I know the game. I wrote the game.
I fucking invented the game.
No. But I was like, you know, they say that like it's majority something for women. Like I saw this, where women break up with you in their mind before they actually break up with you. So that's why when you see them, like I saw even a TikTok further break this down. I think I sent it to you. I'm not sure.
I think you did too. I kind of remember.
Like after the relationship, when they seem like okay or happy, it's because they've already gone through all the breaking and all that shit during the relationship when you weren't responding, you weren't changing behaviors, you weren't working, you weren't doing the work then. And so like guys, when they see us afterwards, think that we're just fucking happy go lucky, and it's like, nah, we did the work, bro. Like but with them in these situations, I don't think they did the work.
Absolutely not.
Because it blindsided him that I even said that. So it's like, yeah, I know you weren't broken up with me in your head. You were just fantasizing about a whole ass other life, though. Like
for sure,
you know what I mean? Like you were planting seeds elsewhere. Yeah. I don't know. People are weird.
Excuse me. Yeah, I agree. And it's like, I think it was the same video that you're talking about when she was saying like, we've already done all the crying. We've already done all the mourning. It's so true. It's like, we do that shit in silence. Like you don't see it because you don't want to see it, or you don't care to see it. If you truly love me, you would have seen it a long time ago. That me getting out of the shower, I'm like, you know, and you just don't care at the end of the day.
I totally mourned that relationship though.
Yeah. I mean,
destroyed.
Me too. Yeah.
I was like,
I don't think I've ever been that broken.
I cannot believe this shit because because, you know, there was multiple times in that relationship where I ended it with him twice and then because I just didn't feel like he was in it, you know? And then he fucking jumped through all the obstacles to try to get me to believe that he wanted me, you know, that like he wanted me and that this is what he wanted, you know? And I'm like, okay, this is like months in and he's still doing this. Like, okay, like I'll give him a chance. And then a couple months later, the whole weirdness would show up again. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on with you, bro? Like, you know? So I was partly really upset because 5 years, 10 years, that's a long time to give to somebody. You know what I mean? Like people are out here wasting each other's time.
Yep.
Which is, I think, the biggest foul. Anything out of everything, like cheating, whatever, like obviously don't fucking hurt somebody physically or mentally or whatever, but like wasting your time is like, what the fuck is your problem to where you didn't have, why are you such a coward? Like, why can't you just like be honest with yourself and me and just call it and rip the band-aid? It's gonna hurt right there up front, but in the long run it's better for us both because we're not continuing to get toxic or weird, you know, like fucked up with each other and wasting our time, and we're not happy, and we're closing other doors to people who could be better for us or we're at currently,
Yeah.
and that's the real tragedy of like failed relationships. I mean, everybody who comes into your life has a purpose.
Yeah.
Right. And they're either going to stick around for a long time and be there and that's what they are for you, or they show up in some form of some kind of a lesson of some sort. Right.
Right.
And that's what you kind of have to like just default to and walk away with. Like, yes, I wasted all this time, but I wouldn't be who I am right now had I not gone through those circumstances and learned those lessons.
Right.
So
it's a growing experience. Unfortunately, you have to grow in those circumstances, but you do grow at the end of the day. You learn a lot about yourself, what you're not going to allow for yourself, what you can't do going forward into another relationship or whatever. Yeah, it's rough, but you definitely learn.
I think the problem though is when you have learned what you think you're supposed to learn from it, but you continue to put yourself in the situation,
those
like
situations.
in a cycle, like it's a cycle.
Yeah.
I think that's when you just gotta like have a fucking heart to heart with yourself.
Yeah.
People get mad at you though. Like if your closest people tell you something that they're not ready, that you're not ready to hear, or that but you don't want to really come to terms with right at that moment, that sucks. That like pisses you off. You're like,
yeah,
what the fuck? Like, why can't you just, you know what I mean? Support me and be there for me. And which brings me to my other, like this is going a whole other direction. Like shocking with me.
Girl.
It's me. Is that when people come to you, your closest people come to you, and to tell you something, to vent, we should all bear in mind that sometimes they're not coming to you for advice. That they're just coming to you to like release, like to just get it out, to vent to you.
Right.
That like we should be there for each other, even if it's like the 50 millionth time we've heard our friend, talk shit or cry about an abusive man or whatever the fuck, like we should still be there for each other. But it's also really hard to do because at some point you're just like, I can't anymore.
Right.
I don't have the capacity to continue to listen to this.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think like we should do?
I agree with that. And I think that's something that you and I have talked about before. And I know sometimes like I have a really harsh delivery when I tell people like how I feel or what I see.
I think we could all be like that.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, as a person who obviously like loves you or whatever, whoever it is, if you're like that friend, when you love your friend or whoever it is, your cousin or brother or sister, whatever, whoever, it's coming to you, and it's frustrating as the other person to see someone continuously get hurt and they're like not doing anything about it, kind of thing. It's like, well, look at this, like you keep coming to me with all these stories and you're not changing, you're not getting out of it, like you're staying in that cycle. And it's extremely frustrating because I've told you how I felt, what I see, like I've given you the advice, and it's like, you don't take it. Okay. You don't like it. But like, I get people have to learn their lessons on their own, but it's super frustrating as like the other person.
It is.
And you're like, I can't take it anymore. Like I've already told you, like, they're no good for you. And I don't know why you stay in it. You deserve better. Like, I don't know why you keep going, and people have told me that for sure. And I didn't listen. And I don't know what it is about. Sometimes we just have to learn those lessons on our own.
I don't know either. And at what point, like, is like, are you an asshole for being like, I cannot hear this anymore?
Right.
But then the problem with that though, is if it is one of those situations where your friend or whoever is in something abusive, then they feel like they can't come to you and tell you shit anymore. And then what if something escalates and like, you know what I mean? Like they just don't feel like they have that safe space to continue to share.
Yeah.
Which is the other like, fuck, like, how do I support you? But like,
Yeah.
I don't have the energy anymore for this. Like, this is crazy.
It's a hard, sticky situation. I think we probably all have been in those situations as the other friend, and we're like, oh my God. But luckily nothing has ever gone on that horrible, but
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's just a frustrating situation for everybody, I think.
Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, I think just at the end of the day, show up in whatever capacity you can. And if you don't have the capacity to, don't. And, you know,
at least be kind. That's the least we can do is be kind to people.
That's the very minimum.
Yeah. It's like, I saw this movie that was like, that said, if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. And I'm like, oh, I love that.
1000%. 1000%. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Yeah. That motto.
I love it.
I also love it. You know what I don't love though?
What?
Catcalling.
Ooh, I'm not a fan.
It's weird.
I'm not a fan.
You know, so when I was 16, 17, and we lived in those apartments in Shadow Ridge, me and Marie would go for a walk. I think we went like walks on almost daily. We'd walk around Lupine to Shadow Ridge to Melrose back into the apartment complex.
Yeah, we've done that walk.
Yeah, like we all did, right? Many times. But her and I did it really regularly. And we're teenagers. We're little girls. We would count each time how many honks or like weird, like, hey, baby, like those kinds of things, catcalling, right? And like we'd be up in the teens in that one loop every time.
Yeah, that's gross.
So gross.
That's disturbing.
So gross.
I think that's why I also don't like it. When I used to walk home from school when I was in middle school, I would get like catcalled by these like old, and it was always like old Mexican dudes. And I'm like, ew. And I'm like, I'm 12. Like, this is disgusting. And I hated it ever since. I don't like it.
We literally had a guy pull over one time and he was waving a piece of paper. And this is before cell phones and Google Maps. Like, this is when you had to MapQuest shit, print out your instructions on how to get somewhere and go.
And it took you to the wrong spot.
And you were fucked because you didn't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
And so he's waving this paper at us. We're almost in front of where her apartment is. Do you remember that? Like, hers was in the front of the complex. Yeah. We're actually by where your last apartment was.
Yeah.
Right there by the entrance, kind of. And he pulled over. He's waving the paper. And we're like, oh, this guy's probably lost. He probably needs instructions. And we're walking. And like, we walk up. We're not up to his door or anything because we're not fucking stupid. We're kind of like away from it. And he's waving his paper. And then he rolls his window down. And we see his pants are down to his knees. He's jerking off.
Are you kidding me?
With one hand, and he has the steering wheel and a piece of paper in the other. And we're like, ew, you sick fuck. Like, I kick his door. Like,
oh, what?
I think he thought we were hookers. We were kids.
Ew.
Yes, it fucking happened.
What the fuck? Yeah. Oh, hell no.
It was wild.
That is beyond disturbing.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like almost traumatizing. Ew.
Yeah.
As like a little girl, you know, when you're 16, 17, you're still a little girl. Like, ew.
Right. It's disgusting. Come on, bro. Anyways, but okay, so catcalling. I've seen videos where they test this shit out. They put cameras on women, have them walk through New York City or wherever. And it's video like how many times they are catcalled in just that short walk. And it's wild. It's crazy to me. Like, I've never catcalled a man.
No.
But I don't know what compels men to catcall women. Like, you can acknowledge someone that you think is attractive or whatever. Without fucking making them uncomfortable. Like, hey baby, hey, nice ass. Like, I was in Bend, Oregon, my kids, this was like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Kids had a tournament out there. I'm at a gas station and I'm cleaning my windows because we're heading west now and the sun's about to set and I want to be able to see. I know the sun's going to set. It's not about to set. It's like 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'm cleaning my windows. And so I'm like kind of bending over ish because I'm cleaning my windshield. This truck drives by. My kids are right there. Nice ass.
Oh my God.
I'm like, are you fucking for real, bro? Like,
Ew.
my kids are right here.
No
it's
respect.
too much. Zero
No
respect.
class.
What did you think was going to happen? What do you
Yeah.
want me to
Hey,
be like,
Daddy.
oh, thanks. Pick me up. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Ew.
I don't know what you expect to accomplish by that. Catcalling? No. Maybe a gentle approach. Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
My name is this. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
a difference. There's a difference between, like hitting on somebody and catcalling somebody. And catcalling is extremely inappropriate and you shouldn't do it.
It's so uncomfortable. You have no idea how uncomfortable it is for women.
It's
Please
really
stop
weird.
doing it. It's so awkward.
But here's this other side. So in one of my psychology classes when I was in college, there was this older, like middle-aged woman in my class. And you could tell she cared about her appearance. Like she wore makeup every day and everything. But, and her skin was like, she tanned too much.
Like leather?
Yeah, kind of. And like she still was doing it to kind of like keep it up, and you could tell she used to perm her hair and dye it. And so it was kind of like fried, but she cared, she put makeup on, she wanted to look presentable. And then I don't think her body was, is what it was in her heyday, and so we were talking about catcalling in class and she brought up this other perspective that I didn't even think about or consider because obviously at the time I was 29, 30 years old. Like I'm in really good shape, all these things, right?
Right.
She's like, I wish someone would catcall me.
Aww.
And it made me feel like slightly ungrateful and like a bitch because I'm like, oh, like I didn't consider like how you feel as a woman. Like this was, 6-7 years ago to where now, like I'm 36 years old. I'm almost 37. Is where I told you I was like, oh, I'm getting jowls or oh, I'm getting wrinkles, like all these things, right? That we like that start to happen to you because you're aging, because you're not going to be fucking young forever. And I'm not rich, so I'm not injecting my face with fucking filler and Botox and whatever the fuck and getting facelifts and all this shit, I'm not doing that. And there's this pressure on us to look a certain way for as long as possible. But it's like, I think you'll miss feeling desired when you're no longer shown that you are.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You don't look at it from that perspective. Like
you don't.
I wish someone would hit on me. I wish someone would like, oh,
yes, that's so sad, right?
Yeah.
Like I thought about that. And even being said, catcalling, no. But hit on someone if you know what I mean?
Hey,
like start a conversation. Yeah, start a conversation. Say hello. A compliment.
Yes.
Don't make it fucking weird and perverted and like make them
skirt.
Nice ass, nice tits.
No.
Like, oh, I wonder how that body would feel on me. Like whatever the fuck you guys think you should, say, don't. You're probably wrong.
Don't say it.
You're probably wrong. Don't say it.
Compliment her hair and that's about it.
That is about it. So yeah, it just makes you think about this whole other perspective of like when you don't have the privilege of youth, You know what I mean? When you don't have that
Mm,
anymore.
interesting. It's a good other side to look at for that.
Right? It like checked me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. Like, thank you for making me try on some other shoes,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
was really used to these over here.
Hmm. That's why they say put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Right. And I mean, when you get older, like our mom's age, like we they've given up. We can tell.
Yeah.
but but at the same time, it's also really sad to see, right? Because
Yeah.
they weren't bad looking.
Yeah.
Like they're actually beautiful women.
Yeah. Seeing them like in younger pictures, I'm like, oh my God, like you guys
Yeah.
looked that cute and like
Like
your
right
little
here.
bodies and like, yeah, beautiful hair.
I have this picture of my mom. She's had, oh, it's, you can't see it. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
the beach one. I love that one.
That's my mom. Who
She was such a hottie.
she had already had 4 kids in this picture.
She's so beautiful.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong or humiliating or weird about aging and all the things that come with it, illness, mental, physical, whatever, you know. But I think that at their age, don't you still, isn't there some part of you that still wants to feel beautiful or desired, or you know what I mean? Like
there has to be.
Yeah. I don't know. And these are just things I think. These are thoughts.
Thoughts in Stella's head.
Yeah, which is, it's a crazy place. You don't want to be in there.
Yeah.
But those were just perspectives I had to share because I don't think like you said, we don't even consider it unless someone brings it to our attention. So,
or until we get to that age and that
Until
point,
you're
then we're
there.
like, dang.
yeah. And you're like, fuck, nobody wants to fuck me anymore.
I know. Hey, man.
Damn it.
I'm a catch, okay?
I can still get this pussy wet.
This tight ass pussy.
Oh, yeah, girl.
Well, let's not take our tight, wet pussies for granted.
Oh, shit. We don't. That we will not.
We don't.
We'll
Speaking of that, I'm totally celibate.
Good.
I know. It is good.
I think everybody should be for a certain period of time in their life.
It's something that I actually like want.
Yeah. I don't have the desire to be in like a relationship or even like a friend's
not even benefits, to entertain like, anybody.
No,
like,
I don't.
I don't want to.
That's something I want to do.
No, I'm like, I'm living my life. Like, leave me alone.
Well, I always told you guys, like when I saw my future, it was always alone.
Yeah. I know. Like, well, you never saw yourself getting married.
I never did.
Until.
Never. And then I considered it with the last guy and I was like, I could marry him. Like,
I could see myself marrying him. I'm like, what? So are you saying these words to me right now?
Yeah, you've never heard me say some shit like that because I'm just like
anti-marriage. She was always like, no, I'm not getting married.
Like,
no,
I'm good. I'm good.
No,
so I'm back to I'm good. And so yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah. I'm good.
So good. Have you seen did you see that, speaking of like age and shit like that and like how tables turn and things in life take you these other places? Have you watched the documentary Val?
No.
So it's Val Kilmer. Do you know who that is?
No.
Actor.
Like, I can like picture
in
his...
the 80s, bro. He was in Top Gun. He was like,
I kind of can picture his face, but like I don't know too much about him.
The guy with long hair from the movie Willow. Do you remember that movie?
Totally.
Look up Val Kilmer. Look up Val Kilmer. He was a hottie back then. He was pretty fly for a white guy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's like
So evidently throughout his adult life, he has owned a video camera. Well, actually his whole life, a video camera. And he's basically been vlogging his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And now he had throat cancer and he can't even fucking talk. He's got that hole in his throat.
Oh no, like
he's
the
like,
smoker's hole?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And it's so crazy to see because like you see these vlogs of his and he was vlogging before vlogging was vlogging. You know what I mean? Like he was ahead of the fucking game by like years, right? Which I thought was cool as fuck. But you see this young, charismatic, handsome fucking man who's like on top of the world and shit, right? And then you see them now and you're like, holy fuck, dude. Like,
oh wow.
I think we take, I mean everybody does this. We take life for granted. We take everything for granted, right? Like when we see ourselves in the mirror, what do? We criticize ourselves. Like, oh, if only I was skinnier, if only my skin was clearer, if only my hair was healthier, if only my face was less wrinkled, whatever, right? But we forget, I don't have cancer. I am not diabetic. I don't have heart disease. I can walk. I can fucking run. I could move my body, drive, exactly, stand up,
smell, like
exactly, hear all these things. Like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
We gotta cut the shit.
I know. We take everything for granted. We just forget to appreciate the small things. And I try to remind myself, like, every once in a while, like just to be thankful for the things that I do have and not like focus on what I don't have or, you know, what I want or whatever. Just like, thank you. Cause I can get in my car and I can go and I can go to a store and I could like, people don't have that option. Like, and it's really sad to even think about that. Like some people literally can't just get up and drive to a store.
Right.
It's like just those little things.
People can't even just get up and use the restroom.
Yeah.
You know, like all these things that we take for granted. And it's like, I do think it's we're creatures of like we compare too much, and like they say that comparison is the thief of joy, and it really is, you know. And this idea that if only then, you know, if only I looked like this, then I'd be happier. If only I had this, then I'd be, you know what I mean? Like, it's a really shitty thing. Like, we need to, and I do this all the time, and I'm sitting here saying this. I know better, but I'm still human. Yeah. And I do these things. Yeah. I try to check myself. So if you're listening to this and that's you, check yourself
before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. This is your reminder. Chickadee check.
Be thankful, be grateful for what you do have today in this moment. Tomorrow is not promised.
Right. Able-bodied is still like, that's just sexy. Yeah. You know, even whatever, even not whatever. If you're, be grateful for what you have. Yes. Period. Regardless of what it is. Yes. Just be grateful for it. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes, honey.
Some good lessons to be learned.
Sure are some good lessons. And those are usually learned the hard way. And so I've learned a few of them pretty hard. And that's why I share.
Same.
No hypocrisy here. I'm still learning.
Yes. Let me make the mistakes
forever student
for you. Learn from my mistakes.
Yes. As much as possible. I'm like, I wish I had somebody when I was younger.
Hell no,
Bro,
you
I'm
are
sitting
not
here.
yawning.
I'm fucking tired. We talked about this. This podcast. I'm sitting here. But I totally forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
It's okay.
My bad.
You're such a bitch.
We're so bad about that.
We are. We
We
are.
lose our train of thought so fast.
Well, the train's fucking moving.
Gone.
So if I get off, then that's it. That's that. You're fucked. You're stranded, bitch.
You don't get to know what I was going to say.
Yep. That's it. Pay attention next time.
Yes.
So,
What?
anything else you want to discuss, or should we just call it?
I'm trying to think. Was there any other tea that I had? I don't think there's any other tea. My life is not very entertaining. I feel like I should just go on like dating apps just so I can have something to like bring back.
I'm fully in support. Like, bring it back to us. Tell us what these motherfuckers are saying, doing. Let's experiment.
Let's do it.
You don't have to go out with them.
No.
Just fucking tease them
just
a little.
Talk to them.
Yeah.
See what they can be like, oh, this one guy.
Yes. Oh my God. You guys, she's going to do this. She's going to get on some dating apps and we're going to have all the tea.
All the fun.
It's going to be hilarious.
I was actually talking to one of my guy friends and he was saying how like dating apps have been nothing but like a waste of time for him. And I'm like, that's why I don't want to do it. And not that I'm ready to, but just in general, like, that's why I just don't want to even go that route for the future.
Well, I mean, I've heard mixed reviews. I found my fucking life partner on that shit.
That's true. Yeah.
And I found chlamydia on that shit.
Ew.
You know what I mean? So,
Ew.
It is what you make it.
Please get tested. If you're gonna be out on these streets, please get tested.
Especially you fucking dudes. It doesn't
That's not
count.
fucking funny.
Just her getting tested doesn't make you good.
No.
Okay? It just because she's good doesn't mean you're good. You need to fucking go and
just be fucking responsible. Be an adult.
Exactly.
Don't be an asshole. Get tested if you're out there.
Don't have sex if you're not going to get tested because you're
wear protection.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Always. HPV, you guys can't get tested for it, so you should always be wrapping it up. And even though you could still get these things wrapping it up, it still reduces your chances. It's like a mask, right? Not 100%, but it's like 90.
It's like, why were all those flu cases down last year? It's because we were like actually washing our hands and wearing masks. Weird.
Crazy.
Weird how that works.
It's strange.
Science.
Wow. Anyways, it's just so simple that it's hard.
You know, right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll get the nerve just to bring back some stories for you guys.
She's gonna bring us some stories.
Maybe I'll have like
time.
But remember that one video of like Whitney Cummings when she's like, oh, I dated that guy and he jizzed on my chest and then licked it off.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have some of those. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna have that kind of story. It'll just be like, oh,
just tell us if that's what they're saying in the pre-conversation.
Yeah.
I want to hear all the dumb shit these motherfuckers say.
I know. I kind of do too.
I want to know.
Maybe I'll experiment.
Let's have some fun.
Let's do it. I've never had fun in my life.
We'll call it Tinder time. On Bitch Gets Wet. And it won't Tinder just be exclusively Tinder, but you know, whatever the dating app story is. Okay. Well, that has been your 4th episode of Bitch Guess What? And we hope you enjoy it and we'll see you next episode. Oh, don't forget to send it, bro. Hold on. Go. Send it. Send it. And then we're sending. We're so fucking corny.
This thing like zipped in my hands. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.